Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Ford. This one hauled in by Sample. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ford. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
No.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Bowden. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed and the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. To throw on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A first down carry for Smith. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Back to throw. Bowden. He completes it to Jones. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 3rd down, Bowden. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Ready. Mike 57. Hey, come on, now. Come on, now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
Check, Nick.
Off play action. Ford. He completes it to Boyd. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. 2nd and 13. And this is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end. And it'll be intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Smith. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. 3rd down here. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
You got three down.
Throwing on 1st down. Bowden. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. And he's going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, Bowden. He's got Hooper on the short connection. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Watch the safety.
On second down, Keith. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
44. You ain't going nowhere. 44 is the mic. 44 is mic. Check. Hey, we heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edge.
On 3rd and 2, Bowden. And it's complete. Hooper. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Bowden. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Bengals drive about to get going, and their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is taken at about the 14. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw. Bowden. Caught by Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run with Smith. He'll get 3 up to midfield. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Go, go. Motion, motion.
Now a give, right side. Keith.
Go, 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 run.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
To throw on third down. Bowden on the completion. This is Carey. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
At the 17-yard line.
They're going to try the jet sweep. Robinson with it. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And it brings up 3rd down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 3rd and 2, Ford. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Ford. And Eifert has it. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. It's Mixon on the counter. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the run, it's Mixon. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's complete to Robinson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Ford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 4th down, Ford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. On 3rd down, Bowden. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On 1st down, Smith. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Check, 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 check.
Open man there is Malone. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Looking to throw. Bowden. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The kick by Parkey is good, and the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A very solid gain of 27.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's second down.
55. You can't block me. You can't block me.
To throw again. Ford. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. But now it's third down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun to give to Mixon. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10. Ford. And the catch good. It's Eifert. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And
as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Got it. Mike Popo. All right. Let's go, B. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Everyone got 4 down.
And they take a knee. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Falcons, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.